So what if your counterpart is married to someone else or gets a karmic pregnant? Stay tuned, that is our topic for today. Before we get into this topic, I want to start by saying that the karmic lessons our counterparts have to go through can trigger us. It is vital to understand triggers and how to work through them. Otherwise, you'll stay stuck in misery. Whenever you are triggered by someone else's actions, you are doing one of the following. Number 1, reliving trauma from a past experience. Or number 2, something is being reflected back to you that you don't like about yourself. Both of these are invitations to do shadow work. This doesn't mean you accept a bad behavior from someone else. You have your boundaries in place. Shadow work even helps you with those boundaries. If you haven't done shadow work or trauma work, the latter needing to be done with a professional who can hold space for you, then you will enter a world of spiritual bypassing. That can be dangerous for the psyche. You can't just skip over pain and go directly to Zen. I'm always adding videos to my healing playlist, so consider checking those videos out and work on those areas as needed. If you feel pain in the body when we discuss these topics, then that is an indicator that shadow or trauma work needs to be done. It was actually requested in my comments that I address pregnancy with a karmic. Interestingly enough, years ago, I scared myself into believing that my counterpart did or could get someone else pregnant. I started out feeling like I wanted to cry. I automatically went to a place of dismissing him from my life if that happened. My spirit team intervened though. They pushed me to work through what was going on at the time. And this process is what I will share with you today. You may tend to jump into a catastrophic way of thinking, meaning your trigger makes you think it's the end of the world. You end up in fight or flight and can't process your way through it. Let's discuss 2 ways to combat that. Number 1, can you shift your way of thinking? Can you find deeper meaning in the karmic events? For example, if my twin and I were in union and he told me he had a baby with someone else, can I shift to find the benefit in that? Can I see that a child may have something to do with his healing? If our relationship has never lit a spark in him to heal, then maybe a child would. What if that baby is the shift that he needs? What if that was written in as part of his journey? To heal his insecurities and his fear around love. Your outlook towards these things is very important. Before I go into number 2, let me expand on some things here. If you feel you have a goal to be in union with this person one day, then you have to prepare yourself to be part of that union. The universe is already on your side. The work you do on yourself affects your counterpart. It is one soul frequency. I know some of you doubt this, and I'm about to give you some faith. Dr. Joe Dispenza and the field of quantum learning have done studies on the effect one person can have on another. This has nothing to do with the 3D or physical presence of one person with another. First, Dr. Joe Dispenza has done studies with 2 control groups. Both groups were individuals that were really ill. One group was sent high vibrational healing energy from others. The second group did not receive this energy. Everything else in the control groups was the same. The first group healed much faster than the second group. In fact, some people in the second group didn't heal at all. Next, let's talk about quantum entanglement. If you have a quantum computer in your mind, and others have quantum computers just the same, then you can theoretically have an entanglement relation with specific people. A measurement of change in your mind can change something in that other person. If you want to hear more from someone who studies this kind of stuff, I will put a link below to a video. But with all the big words out of the way, what I'm trying to tell you is you have an effect every single day on your counterpart. I guarantee you that the universe did not set up karmics to have this crazy but beautiful quantum entanglement with each other. They are not aligned with your twin the way that you are. And remember how I said this is energy, not physical? It doesn't matter who is with your twin. So someone can be communicating with them in the 3D and it won't have the power of your connection. It won't have the power of your telepathy. Divine feminines, nothing is a block unless you choose it to be. If the pregnancy situation came true, and I was in union with my twin flame, I would probably go study couples who are in love but have children with other people. I would see how they make it work. I would keep paying attention to my own focus and happiness. There's no reason to be jealous of karmic. As twin flames, we are so much more free than they are. And people who are free have magnetic energy. So next time you are worried about the karmic, think this way. Is my counterpart going to be more attracted to spend his time with his own soul frequency, one that is free and magnetic? Or the karmic who is constantly reminding him of his responsibilities in the 3D? Which one would you choose? I'm not talking about entertaining a Peter Pan type here, but the lessons of the DM are theirs and theirs alone. If you know and practice your boundaries, you're not going to get involved or dragged into any potential baby mama drama. If you know your worth and have stepped into the 4th and 5th dimensions, you won't have the ability to be jealous. If you want to know more about the dimensions, I cover this in my book, The Twin Flame Journey, which is linked below. Let me repeat something I said earlier so we can start resetting your neural pathways. Nothing is a block unless you choose it to be. I do have a little story for you about a real karmic in my counterpart's life. He has an aunt he is really close to. Unfortunately, they're a little too close. At least they were last time I knew him. When we first got together and all our intensity was coming out to the surface in all these crazy ways, he told her all the tea. Of course, just what I did wrong, not what he did wrong. I quickly became the bad guy, and she quickly became a wedge between us. For example, I booked a healing relationship workshop for us to go to, and she quickly booked him an all-inclusive vacation to Florida, plane ticket, hotels, exotic sports car rental, the whole package. He would always fall for this. In my wounded, unhealed state, I would grow more and more jealous of their connection. And the more I complained, the more she succeeded in driving us apart. But now, many years later, I feel different about it because I made the decision to no longer be a low vibrational, jealous person, the person that I was. And I also walked away from the low vibrational, trauma bonded person that he was. I know who I am now and can't feel jealous of his aunt anymore. The only version of him I would accept back in my life is one who will put me first and treat me with respect. I've earned that. And you need to get to a place where you know that you've earned that too. Nothing threatens a divine relationship except the two people in it. So I invite you to really examine what is stopping you from believing. What is standing in the way of you knowing it will all work itself out? What limiting beliefs are you allowing to control you? You are worth someone putting you first, above any karmic. Truly step in and receive that, because receiving love is the most important thing a divine feminine can do. In the past, my counterpart and I wasted so much time on jealousy. Me with his aunt and him being jealous of my ex. That is what we put energy into, and so that is what won, and that is what split us up. If my ex hadn't have gotten in the way of us, then we wouldn't have gone into separation. to heal and to find ourselves. And if his aunt hadn't have been in his life, he wouldn't have any spiritual people around him. The way I see it, they are both angels in disguise. We've got to stop seeing the worst in everything and instead see the best. I'm going to leave you all with that thought. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.